Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Well, hi, dear ones. Welcome back to the podcast. This is my first time back in a while because we pre-recorded a bunch of episodes so that we could have wedding week, the week before, the week after to recover. And boy, am I glad I gave myself that time. But the wedding was absolutely fantastic. Thanks for all your messages, all your prayers, all your sweet comments on the things that I posted about the wedding. It was just the most magical day, week. I'm still living in the afterglow of it. I'm so very grateful. I was talking to Emmy yesterday. It was the first time I had talked to her since they got back from their honeymoon. And we were just talking about how we wish we could go back. She goes, "Mom, I didn't even get to taste the hors d'oeuvres." I'm like, neither did I. I hope the hors d'oeuvres were good because I didn't even get to try them. But we had such a great time, and what a special, incredible, amazing week it was. Today on the podcast, we are talking about a topic that is near to and dear to my heart. Back in my blogging days, you guys, I used to talk about this all the time because I read a bunch of books back in the day all about calling and vocation. And today we're going to talk about the 4 myths that you probably have about your calling and what's actually true, and how to recognize clues to your calling, what you feel called to do, how to overcome resistance around it, and how to really live in flow of your God-given design. So I am really excited about this. In November, in my membership, we go much deeper into this topic, but I just thought this would be a really good one that I think everybody can relate to. And I want to start with a really funny story. But before I get to that, let me just say this. If you have ever wished that the Lord himself would send you an email telling you exactly what you're called to do, like, hey, here's your calling, here's your purpose, here's your timeline, here's your 5-year plan, then you're going to love this episode because me too. That's not how it works. And you probably already know that. But what I have learned over time is that your calling isn't something that you find somewhere out there, but it's something that you wake up to that's right in front of your nose, right where you already are, doing what you're already doing. So I want to start with a story that I think you'll find entertaining. So when I wrote my first book, All the Pretty Things, it was just quite an adventure. And because my book talked about a lot of things from my past, it led me to reconnecting with a lot of people from my past, which was amazing. And one of the amazing women that reached out to me after my book was a teacher and a coach that I had in school, Robin Gaines. I love you, Robin. I know you're out there somewhere, and I love you so much. And I'm so thankful for your influence in my life. She was also over FCA, and I was the president of FCA, so we worked really closely together. And I think when I was in 10th or 11th grade, I wrote her a poem. Now, from the time that I can remember from when I learned how to write, I was always like a doodler, a writer. I was always making little notebooks, little autograph books, little journals, and I would, do bad bubble letters on the back of them. I was always writing. And she emailed me near the time that my book came out and said, I don't know if you remember this, but I have a poem that you wrote for me in high school, and I still have it. And I would love to share it. I think she said something like, I'll post it for you on Facebook. And my stomach literally dropped, you guys. I could see it now, the lined paper, the forced rhythms, the metaphors where I tried too hard. It was probably the equivalent of maybe the poetic equivalent of my bad blue eyeshadow that I wore back in the day. Overdone, a little too sincere, bless your heart, awkward. That's how my eyeshadow looked. And I was feeling sure that this poem was the same. But it also was very endearing because I remember all the writing that I did. And I do remember giving her a piece of writing. I didn't remember that it was poetry, I don't think. And I was horrified. I'm like, oh my gosh, I bet this is so bad. But the thing that was endearing was, first of all, that she would have kept it. Um, Second of all, that even at that age, there was a little breadcrumb of something true. There was a little seed, there was a little breadcrumb of my calling. I have, since I can remember, always been trying to make meaning of my life or heal something through my words. It has always been a way for me to connect back to myself, connect to God, connect to other people. And often, if you look in your own life, you will see little breadcrumbs of your calling, of the thing um, that calls to you, of the thing that makes your heart sing, of the thing that breaks your heart. You will see seeds of it probably way back then. And I want us today to talk about the myths around this thing that we call calling, because I think it can be really confusing. And I think that it can give us a lot of heartache that it doesn't need to. And I've learned a lot about it over the years. And I noticed that this thing in me, this wanting to communicate, to speak, to write, to teach, has never left. And the seed of it was there a long, long time ago. And it keeps calling to me, you guys. I'm right now in the midst of, you know, I got my first feedback on my book proposal, and I'm in the midst of like redoing that. And so I still see it. It's still there. So I want to talk about 4 myths around your calling and the truth about it. So the myth number 1 that I want to talk about is that calling is something that you need to find. Now, I think if we think of it this way, then we can be searching in our lives like a Where's Waldo puzzle for, okay, where is the thing that I'm supposed to do? Like we feel like there's just this one thing that we're supposed to do and we have to go find it. And I don't think it works that way. I think it doesn't hide from us in some faraway destination. But I think where we do often see breadcrumbs of it is in our everyday desires. I mean, what do you find yourself naturally wanting to do? Where do you find a lot of joy? Where are your curiosities? What are the things that break your heart? Like you will find that those desires, curiosities, the things that call to you are hidden everywhere in your life. Maybe not even hidden, but that you'll find evidence for them. It's already there, is what I'm trying to say. It's in the things that you can't help but do. I often even think for me, it's been in the things where I would lose track of time. So for me, I know that one of those has always been writing. And I do think, there's a lot of things that I've read about calling. We're called to a lot of different roles, but I'm specifically referring to something that, you might do for work, or, what you feel called to do in your sort of role as the way that you encounter the world. So I'm called as a mom. I'm called to be a wife. I'm called to be a Grammy. I love all those callings so much, but I'm specifically here talking about that thing that you might be called to do where it would be something that you do as a vocation or as work. For me, I knew that that was writing, speaking, communicating. For you, it might be the way you encourage people, the way you create beauty with your hands, the way you teach, the way you solve problems, the way you organize chaos. I know a lot of people in my life who are really called to that kind of organizing or whatever. And I don't think you find your calling, quote unquote, by looking for it, but I think you wake up and notice what's already growing in your life. What are the ways that people are already asking you for help? What are the ways that you already are curious and you're always wanting to learn about? So your calling isn't lost, it's more waiting to be tended. And so if you think about that it's something you need to find, I think that makes it more confusing. Where can you look in your life and find evidence for a gift that you already have, where you could tend to it, where you could recognize it, but it's not lost? It's not something that you need to find. Myth number 2, I think that we think, well, if this was really my calling, it would come easily. And oh my gosh, don't we wish that were true? But I think that's not true. I think your calling often comes with resistance. And that resistance isn't proof that you're doing it wrong. I think it's a sign that you're getting close to something that really matters to you. Your fear is not the enemy. I think it shows you that this thing is important to you. It points straight toward the thing that matters most. And I will tell you this, when I was writing my first book, All the Pretty Things, I wanted to quit every day. I'd be sitting at my desk going, why am I doing this? I have a good life. I don't have to do this. This is too hard. This is too personal. This is too much. And I have felt a lot of the same resistance actually around the book that I'm working on now. Why do I need to do this? I already have a program that has outlined this book. People could just come do my program. But what I realize is, no, this is really important. I want to get this out in a form that feels very accessible to people. And so whatever it is for you, resistance is often a clue that you are standing right smack dab in the middle of it. The book written by Stephen Pressfield, that talks a lot about resistance. I've got it right here. The War of Art. I often read this book now. It says break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. And he talks so much in this book about resistance and about how, the resistance that you feel around the thing that you know you're called to do is really powerful, and also a sign that you're right there. You're right smack dab in the middle of something that is really important to you. The thing about calling too is that calling is really important to develop you. Like, you pursuing the thing that you feel drawn to is such a powerful way for you to grow yourself. But there's something more important, and that brings us to myth number 3. I think we often get too obsessed with our calling, thinking it's all about us. Like, oh, I have to figure out my calling because that's, because it's all about me and my calling. Here's the truth of the matter. Your gifts, your calling exist not just to grow you. They're really not about you. They're really about the way that you serve your neighbor. So God has this strange economy where, instead of, like he has done in the past by raining down manna from heaven, he doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't rain down steaks from heaven. He creates farmers. He doesn't drop books from the sky. He creates writers. He's not interested in that kind of, raining down those things from heaven, but more in our participation. He's interested in intimacy, in relationships. So he creates this world where we get our needs met through others, through relationships. He meets the world's needs through human hands. That's his economy. That seems very inefficient, but that is the way he does it. And what a beautiful system to set up. He gives the gift to one person of whatever that is, writing, farming, healing, whatever it is, so that another person that he also loves can be fed or taken care of by that gift. And when you use your gifts, someone else's need is met. And in that exchange, in that relationship, you both benefit. You both are blessed. You both can grow. And the truth of the matter is, your gift isn't complete until it's given away. So I could write a book, but until someone reads the book and is blessed by the book, that gift isn't really complete. And I think that is such a cool way to design the world, where the gifts that we have been given are the way that God takes care of the people that he created, that he loves. So when you get too in your head about your gift, just remember, this isn't really even about me. This calling, this gifting that I've been given isn't really about me. It's about the person that I can serve when I give the gift away, which makes it really, really important that you recognize the gift, stop dismissing it. Some of you, let me just look right at you and tell you, some of you are dismissing the gifts you've been given. You're comparing your gift to other people, and you're not even exercising that gift. You're not building your skills around that gift because you're dismissing it. You're thinking that it's not as valuable as someone else's gift. And the thing that someone is missing out on that gift. Someone could be being blessed by that gift. So how can you stop dismissing it, stop making it all about you, and utilize the gift, recognize the gift, give the gift away so that other people can be blessed by your gift. Please, I'm begging you. We need you. We need your words. We need your voice. We need your gift. So if you have been dismissing it and you have been staying in confusion about it because you want to make it more than it is, then just realize that this is the way God takes care of people. And the world is blessed when you use the gifts that He's given you to bless them. Myth number 4, I need to feel ready before I begin, before I give my gift away. And the truth of the matter is you will never feel ready. You will never feel ready to write that thing. You will never feel ready to make that offer. Some of you have so much to give, but you won't make the offer. You're waiting for confidence. You're waiting for clarity. Let me tell you, you build confidence through action. You build clarity from starting. So how can you start small today in giving that gift away? Grace doesn't demand perfection, but it does ask you to participate. Take one small, brave step and say yes to the thing stirring in you, to the thing God is calling you to, that kind of won't leave you alone, that you keep thinking about over and over. That is the way I felt for the past, I don't know, year and a half about this book. It just won't leave me alone. I just want to say, leave me alone. Why do I keep feeling this nudging, this urging, this calling? Because when you start taking that one next step, that one right action right in front of you, here's what will happen. Amazing things will happen. I noticed that the things that I felt unsure about, that I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to do, write that next thing because of this and this and this. As soon as I started writing, as soon as I said yes, as soon as I started compiling these things together, so many breakthroughs started happening. As a matter of fact, so many breakthroughs started happening that it has led to, this is like if you give a mouse a cookie moment, it has led to me making a bunch of changes in my program. Because I realized like, oh, this could be a lot more clear. Oh, these steps are now really clear to me. So what is one small, brave step that you could take toward what is stirring in you? That's how momentum and calling and faith grow together. You take the next step that's right in front of you. So if I think back to my terrible poem that I wrote when I was in 10th or 11th grade, I realized that there was a call on my life, that it had been there all along. I can see signs of it from back then, but it was going to take some time and some grace to grow into it. It was going to take me saying yes to things that felt hard. It was going to take me taking next steps before I felt ready. It was going to take me recognizing this gift, even though, I had written some really bad poetry and some really not very good things in the past. But you do one thing at a time. You write that one bad poem. You coach that one person. You, send that one offer. You make that one craft. You do that one thing. And you stop looking for perfect moments and you start looking for where the breadcrumbs already are all around you. I promise you they're everywhere. The world doesn't need a perfect you. It needs a willing you, willing to use your gifts, willing to use your calling in service of other people. It's really not about you. It's about how you can use your gifts in service of other people. So I know you're doing this. I know my women so well. I know that we're belittling our gifts. I know that we're comparing ourselves to others. But where can you acknowledge the gifts that you've been given? Where can you acknowledge these breadcrumbs that have probably been there for a long time? I promise you they matter. I promise you that your way of looking at the world matters. Your story matters. Your calling matters, and it is already there unfolding. And you can expand on that by saying yes and having the courage, kind of one small step at a time. So I hope that I have read some of your emails today. I know some of you are really on the verge of, I do believe this for a lot of us in my age group, in sort of these midlife women, my midlife women who have done, been on a certain path and a certain track for a long time, who are feeling called to something different, who are feeling called to something more, who are feeling called to use your gifts, your wisdom in a way that you may never have used it. And this is your sign that it's time. Now, if that happens to be in a way of mentoring other people or coaching other people, I have an amazing thing to tell you about. And this is just in time if you're listening to this in real time. We are about to do our next level life summit. So if you feel a little, nudge or calling to what your next step is, maybe you're at that stage of life where you're like, gosh, I'm not sure if I want to keep on doing what I've been doing, as happened to me when I was a physician. If you're feeling called to something different, I want to invite you to our summit next week. It's next Tuesday, November, I think 11th. This is going to be an all-day summit, you guys. And if you attended our summit before, you're going to get a free ticket to this. So I think we already emailed it to you. So you don't need to re-register if you attended before. But if you've never attended before, this summit is going to be a little less than the last one. It's $17. This is going to be an all-day virtual event. If you feel led to help people, mentor them, lead them, coach them in any way, you need to come to this summit. I'm going to lay it out for you. Like, what is it like in 2025 to step into the calling of this, to step into doing this, kind of doing maybe what I do, or, some kind of health coach or some kind of ministry leader or whatever. This one-day event is designed to help women like you really unlock your purpose, expand your impact, and step confidently into your calling as a coach or mentor. You will hear amazing, powerful stories from our coaches. You will hear some powerful practical tools that will help you in your own life, in your own mental and emotional resilience. And you'll see how mentoring or coaching can become a way that you multiply the gifts that God has already placed in you. So if you've been wondering, could this be for me? This is your sign. Come join us. The link will be below. You just head to ediewadsworthcoaching.com/summit and get registered. I can't wait to see you there. And thank you so much for listening to these episodes of the podcast. I hope they bless you. Come share on our House of Joy Instagram account and let us know if there are any topics that you want us to be covering over the next few months. We'd love to hear that as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Love you so much. See you soon. Bye for now.